Guys, Rooster here in Tennessee, looking at some of these excess power lithium batteries. Now, I have had these for a while, not these particular sitting in front of me, but I have been selling these for a while. I just haven't had them listed up on the website. Get wrapped up in radio stuff, and sometimes forget to get to getting some other things prioritized. So, we'll talk about these a little bit. Before I get into it, and I just want to be up front, I am not the resident battery expert. Okay, there are lots and lots of detailed videos out there showing how these things work. They go into a lot more scientific detail of why lithium batteries are such a good option compared to lead acid or AGM style batteries. So the things I say in this video are going to be from what I've experienced and just broken down into general terms, not the proper scientific explanation on how they work, but just a general simple breakdown of why they're such a good option and how they may benefit your station. So I got three different models in front of me here. To the left on the bottom is the PWR S5. The only difference between these two, really the main difference, is you're going to want to charge this S6 at 15 volts plus, probably closer to 15.5. So this is going to be for your higher voltage setups. And the S5 is a 12 to basically 14 and a half volt battery, 14.7, 14.8, anything like that will be fine. I believe the proper rating for them is this is a 12 and this is a 14 volt battery. But that being said, just because that's what they're rated at, you have to charge them with a little bit more than that. So if you tried to charge this, even though it's technically a 14 volt battery, I believe. Yeah, let's see. It even says it down here. I don't have to guess. So 14 and 12. So if you try to charge this S6 at 14 volts, it's not gonna properly charge. You're gonna want to go 15 plus. Now, how do I know that? Because a friend of mine got a couple of these and found out when his 14 and a half volt alternators wouldn't properly charge these. So you want to charge these 15, 15.5, and they can go up to about 16.5 or so if that's what you want to do. These over here, again, around 15 volts, 14.5, 14.8, that's going to be about the max you want to put into them. Now this one up here, I've got two of these that I'm keeping for myself when I'm doing the Suburban setup. These are the same thing basically as this S5 over here. They're just smaller, but I will get some of these listed up on the website. They're just basically a compact version. I plan on running two of these for the DC side of my Suburban. So what are these things capable of? Again, I'm going to be speaking in general terms on these a lot. What can you expect out of one of these batteries? Well, there's a demonstration video out there of just a very intermittent test on one of these that shows it supporting a 9,500, 9,800 watt amp PEP. Now, that's not RMS or average. That's a PEP power. Now, that was just a burst intermittent test, okay? You can't expect it to do that really by itself, but that just speaks to what they are capable of. What I generally tell people in our realm of how we use these, obviously they're popular for car stereo and audio use, but what we do is a lot more continuous draw on stuff, so it's a little bit harder on it than like what a stereo amp would be. What I generally tell people is if you're wanting to run a 16 pill or below, one of these will be fine. They should support it, and I probably actually support your 16 pill and your driver. Feel pretty confident in saying that about 300 amps or plus you can get off one of these batteries if you have a proper size alternator. Now, you can't be hooking this up to like a 150 amp alternator and go hook your 16 pill up to it. It's not going to work like that. You might get by with a 150 amp alternator and running like an 8 pill, maybe, just because of the nature of how these batteries work. But if you were going to go bigger than that, like let's say you wanted to go with like a 24 and a Longhorn, I would probably get two of these and have the alternator system to support it, obviously. That would be my input on it. Again, people are going to have different experiences. It's really going to start with your alternator. You can't have a baby alternator and a massive battery and expect the greatest results, and you can't have um, huge alternator and weak batteries. The best way I can explain it is running one of these lithium batteries like this is really going to be the equivalent of running, probably 3 or 4 good, strong AGM batteries. And you're probably asking, well, how is that possible? Well, again, I'm going to explain how these kind of work in simple terms because I'm a simple guy. Uh, the lithium batteries, the benefit to them over your standard like AGM or lead acid batteries is the discharge rate they have, or the recharge and discharge. So um, basically 100% of the energy they store or very close to it is available immediately. Similar to how a super cap works. Some of you guys have bought the super caps and have been really impressed with how they work. The best way for me to really summarize how these lithium batteries works is they have the energy density of a battery, but the energy dissipation of a cap. What I mean by that is they store a lot of energy and it's dense. It's not like it drains immediately when you key down. And just like a cap, all the energy stored in them is immediately right there. So if, let's just say you have 400 amps of availability in one of these batteries. Um, that's available to you as soon as you put the battery in demand. As soon as you call upon it, it's all there. Whereas with some of your other batteries, now I may be speaking out of line here, I may be misspeaking. I believe about 60 to 70% is a good rating on them, and that's probably overrating it a little bit. That's why you can do a lot more with just say one of these versus you could like 3 lead acid batteries. And that's also why they're quite expensive. If you guys have seen the price on these, you're probably like, God, I'd never pay that for a battery. Well, think about it, because if you buy 2 or 3 AGM batteries, you're probably going to spend a little bit more on them. And the weight. These things are light. I mean, they don't weigh much at all. I mean, they're not like featherweights, but they're very light compared to your standard battery. So, recharge rate, discharge rate, huge bonus on these. Let's say you're somebody and you're out there talking skip and you're mobile or whatever. I got a gnat buzzing me in here. We're not going to edit that out of the video. Let's say you're out there talking skip and you get long-winded, and I'd say long-winded is like a 45-second to 1 minute key down. That's quite a bit when you're keyed up talking. And whereas, if you're running regular batteries, they might need a good bit to recharge back up to full capacity. Lithium battery is not going to be like that. It's going to recharge insanely fast and build its capacity back up. Now, you're probably thinking, well, what the heck is the point? What's the difference in running one of these and running a super cap? Well, a super cap is great. It's great to help supplement what you already have. If you have some good AGM batteries or a good battery bank and you're just kind of wanting to help supplement it, the super cap is the way to go, because you can't mix these. You can't mix and match these with your regular standard batteries. You can't run lithiums and them together. You'd have to run, a separate charging system to your lithiums and then separate charging to your other batteries. However, with the super caps, you can use those to supplement. So, for example, if you have, let's say, 3 AGM batteries and you're trying to run a 16 pill and you're just getting a little bit too much voltage drop, you're not too crazy about the voltage drop you're getting, you can supplement that with like a 500 farad cap, a 630, maybe even 1,000 farad cap if you wanted to. The higher the farad, the more energy, the longer kind of key down you're going to have with it. But let's say you have 500 farad cap. After about 10 to 15 seconds of keying down, that cap is going to have ran its course, and it's going to need to recharge when you get off the key. Now that's pretty good. That's really good for special intermittent talking. But again, if you're somebody that gets long-winded, you're going to be wanting some more dense power, and that's where these lithium batteries come in. Again, there's nothing magic about them. They are just very, very efficient. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you can run one of these, 150 amp alternator, and run a 24 pill on it, okay? But let's say you have a 300 amp alternator, maybe even just a little bit less. I feel pretty confident that you'll be able to run one of these and let's say something like a 16 pill. You may be able to get by with more than that. But again, it's going to start with your alternator, your charging system. It's, you can't have a good one without the other. Got to have good alternator, good battery, good alternator. It goes both ways. But I just want to talk about these a little bit and put a little bit of knowledge on them. Again, somebody might get on here and tear me up about this, and that's okay. I'm not claiming to be the smartest on these. There's people out there that know a hell of a lot more about these things than I do. But I just basically want to say I'm going to start putting them on the website. Going to be available. I'm going to get some more of these ordered in here pretty soon. The ones I have sold, super positive feedback about them. Waiting to hear from my guy out in Hawaii to hear how his runs. But the people that have gotten these have absolutely been crazy about them. CB stuff, car stereo stuff, they're the way to go. Again, just the drawback is you can't take this and put it in line with your regular batteries. You can run separate charging cables from your alternator to it and run it on its own kind of little system, and that would be fine. Like, let's say you want to run your driver off of, say you got like a 1.4. You want to run it off your stock charging system, or your stock battery. You've got like a lead acid or AGM battery, and you can do that and then run your charging cables back to your lithium, and then just run your 16 pill off it by itself. It'd be kind of isolated away. So that's going to be the gist of it, guys. I may do some tests with these. I just, so much on my plate with staying so busy. I'd really like to do some test videos on these and charge one of these guys up and run an amp off of it without it hooked to anything and kind of show you what these things are capable of. Get a good full charge on it and then hook it up and run an amp and show you what they can do in the CB realm. Again, there's videos out there that show these on I think they call it like an amp dyno. They do the stereo amp test on it, and this battery over here, just a quick burst, supported a 9800 watt PEP amp. So if that tells you anything about what these guys are, these things are monsters. That's it, guys. Let me know what you think. Rooster in Tennessee, roostercb.com, excess power batteries. I've been neglecting advertising a little bit and need my rear kicked for it, but here we go. PWR S5, that's going to be your 12 to 14.5 or so volt. PWR S6 is going to be your 14 volt to like 16.5 volt. And again, this is just a kind of a miniature version. I've got 2 of these for myself. I plan on getting some more in. That's it, everybody. Rooster in Tennessee, roostercb.com. Catch you guys out there. Questions, comments, shoot me a text, 423-299-3535. Shoot me an email, roostertn@roostercb.com. As always, thanks for supporting the business, and thanks for supporting the channel. Y'all have a good day. See you, bye.